Wonder how one can cope with the daily burden of self expectations and competitions outside in every facet of life? School, college, work, marriage, and most importantly, the digital dangers we are all facing, which is going to only increase with the ever changing technology. Introduction: A timeless wellspring of wisdom. Sanatan Dharma, eternal Dharma, points to unchanging universal truth. Modern scholars note that Sanatan Dharma has become a synonym for the eternal truth and teachings of Hinduism. It is described as a set of virtues: honesty, non harming, purity, goodwill, generosity that transcend any single era of culture. As Sri Aurobindo observed, Sanatan Dharma is life itself. It is not to be believed in theory so much as lived. In other words, it is a practical way of living. Throughout history, teachers from Thoreau to Vivekananda found its ancient text remarkably relevant. The goal of this video is to tap that timeless wellspring, drawing on the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and the Puranas to offer guidance for the real pressures of 2025. Whether you feel overwhelmed by screens, restless in a busy world, or isolated by social distance, the same ageless principles can light the way. Navigating the digital age. Modern life can feel like a constant fire hose of information. In 2025, the typical person spends over 6 hours and 40 minutes per day on internet connected screens. Our eyes burn on smartphones late at night. Our minds buzz with endless notifications, and anxiety is often a thumb scroll away. It's ironic, we have hundreds of friends online, but report feeling lonelier than ever. Arjuna's own story in the Gita offers an analogy. On the battlefield, he was deafened by drums and overwhelmed by emotions, much like we are assaulted by digital noise. Ancient Dharma offers an antidote in the form of self discipline. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali prescribe the yamas and nisyamas, ethical vows and observance to train body and mind. The 5 yamas include non-violence, ahimsa, truthfulness, non-stealing, continence, and non-greed, all aimed for harmonizing our relations with the outer world. The 5 nisamyas: purity, contentment, austerity, self-study, and surrender to the divine, focus on inner balance. Together, these ancient disciplines build resilience. Patanjali warns that acting or speaking against one's own value leads to endless misery. The key is moderation and mindfulness. In practice, this can mean a digital detox as modern Brahmacharya, restraint of senses, and dhyana, focused meditation. For example, set daily limits on device use, practice one task at a time, or take breaks for mindful breathing. As the Gita teaches, one should perform life's tasks steadily without attachment to outcomes. Krishna advises Arjuna: be steadfast in the performance of your duty, abandoning attachment to success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. In today's terms, do your best with your work or study, then turn off the device and let go of nagging what ifs. This balanced awareness calms the mental mob of unprocessed thoughts that Gita compares to a chaotic play. By simply absorbing our thoughts like a movie screen, they lose their power. Sounds too ethical and correct, right? But the key to success is getting started. So unless you start, you never know if it can benefit you. Finding meaning and purpose. So much of modern culture says more is better. More gadgets, more likes, more comfort. Yet, Gita wisdom warns that an endless chase for more can disconnect us from who we truly are. Arjuna's crisis shows what happens when duty is blurred by avarice or fear. In contrast, Sanatan Dharma teaches Dharma as our inner compass. Krishna famously tells Arjuna that it is better to follow one's own swadharma, duty, however imperfectly, than to take on another's duty perfectly. He says, in practical terms, this means choosing a path aligned with your own value and nature, not someone else's. A new job, marriage, or any big decision should feel right in your heart, even if it has challenges. Doing it with honesty is Shreyas, ultimately superior. So never compare your job or struggles with others, nor their successes. For everyone has their own path in their own life, with different lifespan, different duties, and different fulfillments. Along with dharma, the principle of karma yoga brings contentment. The Gita again counsels, you have control over your duty only, never the fruits. Act without attachments to outcomes. By focusing on our effort and excellence, not just the reward, life's work gains deeper meaning. Rather than defining ourselves by promotion or purchases, we learn that steady wisdom in all circumstances is the goal. At a deeper level, the Upanishads remind us that our true self, Atman, is unchanging and untouched by material vicissitudes. Things. The Bhagavad Gita declares, the soul is without birth, eternal, immortal, and ageless. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. In fact, this verse echoes the Katha. Building stronger relationships. In our hyper-connected era, loneliness has paradoxically exploded. Nearly 1 in 4 adults now report feeling regularly lonely, with young people hit hardest. Social media can give a false sense of togetherness, while real emphatic bonds fray. Here again, ancient teachings point the way. Sanatan Dharma places compassion, daya, forgiveness, shama, and truthfulness, satya, at the heart of strong relationships. As Krishna outlines the ideal sattvic character, he lists exactly these qualities: kindness to all beings, being free of envy, self control, equality in pleasure and pain, and a forgiving nature. In Bhagavad Gita, he says, a devoted soul hates no creature, is friendly with compassionate to all, free from feeling of I and mine, equal in sorrow and joy, forgiving. These spiritual virtues have practical payoff. A heart that forgives and empathizes connect deeply. Another cornerstone is Seva, self-sacrifice. Scripture repeatedly praises community with sharing. For example, Gita teaches, by your sacrifices through sharing with others, the celestial gods will be pleased, and by cooperation with humans and the gods, great prosperity will reign for all. In modern terms, when we look out for one another, society flourishes. Something as simple as volunteering time, helping a neighbor, or even a small daily act of kindness can create a ripple of goodwill. True community, Sabha, heals isolation by reminding us we belong to each other. We see that the highest dharma is not self-isolation but service. The Bhagavad Gita calls the practice of caring for others sacrifice that sustains the world. Conclusion: a bridge between past and present. Today's world may look very different from Kurukshetra or the sages' caves, but the human heart remains the same. Sanatan Dharma wisdom is like an ancient bridge connecting us to the enduring truths. We have seen how Yama Niyama, discipline, can tame digital stress, how Dharma and Karma Yoga points us towards real purpose, and how Daya, Shama, Satya, and Seva ground our relationships. By applying these insightful ethically and responsibly, we can do more than solve today's problems. We uplift our whole society. If this journey inspires you, start with small steps. Pick a favorite verse from the Gita to reflect on each morning. Make time for meditation or even a simple daily prayer. Krishna himself calls the chanting